Hi, friends! Welcome back. Oh my goodness. What a week it's been. It's been a little bit of a hellish week. Still haven't heard anything from Twitch on the whole fraudulent activity claim as of yet. But, you know, I still have some hope. But if not, it's not the end of the world, because guess what? I've wanted to do YouTube from the start. So, I'm gonna lead into this with a little bit of chatter to just kind of tell you guys what's been going on. I have been cooking on some things that I think will be a lot healthier for me content creation wise, and I think will be still fun and engaging for the rest of you. I have been thinking about videos that I can start to make. I'm looking into making CMVs. I'm looking into teaching myself how to animate. I am looking into doing speed paints, both with voiceovers and to themed music. I'm looking into all kinds of things, and I am very excited, actually, for what the YouTube channel is going to look like. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm excited. I am excited for the future. Even though this thing with Twitch is going on, I am very excited for what is going to be occurring. I am actually soon going to be eligible to apply for the YouTube Partner Program once I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is a crazy number to even think of. I think I'm sitting at like 880 right now, which is fucking crazy to say, and I want to thank everyone who got me here. That's wild in my brain. So hopefully I'll hit that soon, and we can continue right where we left off. I might try streaming here on YouTube eventually, but as of right now, that just doesn't seem like something that I want to do. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where we're at. That's where the horde is. I'm not going anywhere. I just can't use Twitch right now, so I am everywhere else. I am on YouTube, I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm fucking everywhere. But thank you guys for being patient and sticking with me through everything that's been going on. Now, to get into the reason why you're actually here. Last time on Siege, Percy went and found Dawn and caught up a little bit with what's been going on with him, and caught Dawn up on what's been going on with Io. Then the pair of them went to go see Io to once again attempt to convince them that Percy is trying to do the right thing, and ended up having Io use their siren song on him, which revealed to Io that he too had been tortured and betrayed by his own council, revealing exactly the reason why he wants them dead just as much as they do. And they had a breakthrough. There's a little bit of trust between them now. They talked about making Io's cell a little bit bigger. They talked about coming to see them more often. And they talked about eventually, once the council is gone and dealt with, freeing them. And then they got to work. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. I will see you all soon. Okay, bye! Okay. Okay. Coming up on vampire territory here. I don't want to try and encroach too much just because I know Asher said they were closing their borders, but Io said something about a mage named Verus that lives around here. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to find them. Ow. Alright, let's see. Huh. Would you look at that?
A bath, honestly.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
I hope I didn't startle you. Sorry, I'm up in the trees.
That would make more sense. Yes. Uh,
Here, I'll come down to the ground. Behind you.
as I'm spinning in circles, I'm not sure if that's. Oh, hello.
You
Um,
wouldn't, You wouldn't happen to know... You wouldn't happen to go by the name Veers, would you?
I would. Yes. That is my name. So
Okay.
I do happen to go by it every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Well, I'm...
You'd be surprised. Mostly it's hey you madman, get out of my house.
Well, I'm glad I found you. I'm Percy.
Ah, the sun. I wasn't expecting you quite so soon.
You were expecting me, though.
Of course. You're the last of them. Well, not of everyone, but the last of the leaders.
Am I really the
I
only one you
was
haven't met?
meaning, um, yes, actually. Two of them I've known for quite a while, and one I've become fairly well acquainted to,
Well,
for a while now.
I apologize for not
I,
making my presence known sooner.
I, I did mean to come to you, when I was in your territory last, you were not available.
Uh, uh, yeah. With running things the way that I have to, I can be kind of hard to catch. Sorry.
It's all right. Dawn said you'd be around more often anyways.
Yeah. Um, I have
Come
been.
along.
With the whole thing involving Io, I've been around a lot more. And also just trying to be around a lot more in general.
I see. Hmm. Well,
That's actually how I got your name, was from them.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
from Io.
Mm-hmm. Mentioned you.
That bit I didn't expect.
Didn't give me, like, every detail ever, but gave me your name, told me you were a magic user.
They don't give much details, do they?
No, not really, but can you blame them?
I could. I won't, but I could. You must forgive me. The trees have grown, um, I used to know these forests very well, and now I find myself going in circles quite often.
Are you looking for something in particular?
A stone statue outside of a cave. It's easy to find in the dark.
Well, I found this. If you'll.
Oh, don't go that way. Uh, it's dangerous. Ah, this way.
Mm.
That is, a less desirable path. Um, you'll get wet either way, but this way is preferable, honestly.
Good to know.
We'll be safe down here.
Well, I hope so.
Come along.
Oh, you want me to jump down there? Oh, I can
It's
see the water. It's fine.
uh, only around, 100 or so. Besides, you can fly.
Well, I can, but not like it. I can't very well drop out of a 100-foot fall with a 1x1 space. That's a little. That's a little precarious even for me.
Well, you're perfectly safe.
This place is beautiful.
Thank you. Been good to me for a very long time.
Hmm.
A little bit of the outside inward. You may remove your armor if you wish. You can keep it on, of course,
Oh, that's
for
right.
comfort, but
No, okay. I forget that I put it on sometimes. It's gotten to the point in my wearing of it that it's so comfortable I don't realize it's there. Um, but
it's comfortable to wear an entire suit of diamond armor.
well, yeah. Okay. I realize that sounds weird. Um, I've worn it in enough that it doesn't bother me anymore, so I hardly feel it when I put it on. It's less that
I
it's
see.
comfortable and more just I don't notice it.
And it's necessary?
A lot of the time. You can
That
imagine,
bit is,
especially with the assassination attempts on summit members that have been happening lately. It's kind of become a bit of a necessity.
I see. You weren't the main target last time, just if that gives you any comfort.
Hmm.
Anyways, I you came looking for me. That's honestly, a bit rare.
Hmm.
I'm not going to lie. What what brings you
Well,
around this parts, especially with the troubles, borders closing and such?
yeah. Yeah. I thought maybe you might have an answer.
I have many answers, but I'm afraid I have probably more questions.
That's okay. Um, don't we all? I disclosed to
Right,
Io that I have some magic capability,
of course.
and that Paris has decided to drop me as a student because I can't do anything past a simple harm or mage light spell.
Useful spells, either way.
Useful, yeah. I can also do launch and leap, but Paris either doesn't know why it's the case that I can only do certain things, or hasn't told me. So I'm wondering if you might know something about that. If not, it's okay. I just figured I would ask.
Well, um, goodness, there could be any number of reasons. You're an avian, which usually, magic eludes your kind, but it's not unheard of. It's been centuries, if I recall correctly, but of progression is, well, it's fascinating, really. And you wish to learn.
I wish to find out why I can sometimes summon sunlight at my fingertips if I don't mean to. Or why I sometimes burst into light when vampires bite me.
Well, at least one of those is because it's an entirely different type of magic.
That's what I was thinking.
I couldn't say what type, but there were forms of magic here and there before the High Priestess came to this world. There were civilizations long lost that knew secrets. Gods walked among us, and creatures. It's it's very likely not something that Paris could teach. The rest of it, of course. She is the matron of magic, but only her type of magic, not all of it.
You mean mana based magic?
Yes. For example, sirens. Their song is a type of magic, but it's not drawn from mana, nor has it only existed for the amount of time that the High Priestess has been within this realm. It's something that was inside them. It came from something else, something older, something
Like an
honestly less
instinct?
yes, exactly. What about your family? Do you have parents or
um,
anyone else exhibiting?
no. No, I do not. Um,
Mm,
my parents have always kind of told me that I'm special, but never really told me why.
every
Um,
parent says that.
well, yes, but this reason why I'm special is the entire reason why they raised me the way they did, why they raised me to be this, why they pushed me so hard into being the prefect when I didn't want to be.
Hmm.
Um, and it's the same reason why they casted my little sister to the side.
The hangman.
Sorry?
Uh, the sun and the hangman, they're your, well, they're you and her. Uh, I just explained this bit, and I fear I'm not going to do any better this time. Um,
Cards.
Card? Yes, exactly.
Cards. Okay.
Cards.
I've read about them. Uh, I've read about these. Okay. I'm understanding a little bit now.
They
Okay.
change. You've not always been the sun, of course. I mean, there have been many before you, but you are now, and you have been your whole life, which is rather interesting because usually it's something that you grow into um as you come of age. Like with the the Mer um the Mer ruler as the Empress was not until they were crowned.
Hmm.
And Dawn was the Two of Cups before they were Temperance, but that's been for a while. But you've always been the sun. And as unfortunate as it is, your sister, forgive me, I don't know their name, but
Reina.
they've always been the hangman. Raina.
Her name is Reina.
You two have been stagnant throughout your life. Not a bad thing, but interesting.
Makes me wonder if it has anything to do with this genealogy map that I found with Mara, uh, the Empress's second hand.
Yes, her card is changing soon.
Hmm.
I don't quite know the direction yet, but
You
the
know there will be
picture
a change.
blurs more and more.
Hmm. Um, we found this sheet of paper in an old book that details the genealogy and the family line of me,
Hmm.
and it said something about being the Solaris heir of power, which I don't know if it has anything to do with the magic thing, but we found out that we come from the same line of people,
Yes, of course.
which is why there are sirens of both kinds.
Was that did you didn't know?
No,
I see. Well, of course, yes.
I didn't even know that
Gosh, I can't.
aliens weren't always incapable of magic until recently.
Well, no, of course not. You both came from something far older, and it was a breeding thing, if I recall correctly.
We
Part of
recently
why.
found something talking about some sort of split between people, but mm, some of us went to the mountains, which is where avians came from. Some of us went to the sea, which is where the Murs came from, apparently, according to the sheet of paper. But it's a sheet of paper, and it's a very old one.
Uh, this was old knowledge. I suppose. I suppose for the myrrh, it could have been lost when they fell, but I don't know why your people would have not still known these things.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I have a feeling it was kept from us on purpose.
I see. It's easier to control people when they're divided. You'd think the opposite. You'd think that if everyone is together, you can keep them under one rule, but honestly, not usually the case.
You know, I just said this to Io, but the Avian Council works by controlling every single move their enemy makes.
Hmm.
And if the people are your enemy,
Maybe.
every day I get more and more angry.
Anger can be a great weapon, for the better and for the worse.
Only if you can control it,
Exactly.
temper it, know when to use it. Like a blade.
Mm. Very much so. Um, let's see.
What the This storage system here that rivals Paris's.
That's because I've known them for a very long time. I've had the, not quite the pleasure, but the honor of, watching them.
Not quite the pleasure makes it sound like you have some sort of beef.
The High Priestess does not like things that she cannot explain. She cannot understand. Um, she can understand my magic. She can explain where it comes from, uh, of course. But, my dreams, the prophecy, the Farlander's gift, it's something that comes from somewhere else.
The Farlander's
I
gift.
don't. Hmm.
That's the group of
That's
people
what
that.
my,
That's the group of people that we're descended from.
if I recall correctly, it was also the name of a god, long, long gone now. But there are there's always new things to be uncovered, and honestly, old secrets that are better off being known. If you'd if you'd like anything, I don't I don't often use spells. I honestly I've My magic keeps the forest alive, and all the rest I prefer to do things the slow way. And I do not kill. So I have little use for nearly anything. So if you like anything,
I don't think I necessarily have a need for anything, but I do have a question. Do you purposely not keep your mage torch lit?
yes.
Huh.
One upstairs too. It's
A stylistic choice.
uh, partially um it's easier to put out in a hurry if
Mm,
necessary,
this is fair.
as you see.
I've never been able to figure out how to light these ones.
It takes aiming and practice, and honestly, you only ever need it if you need good lighting, and my eyes have,
Adjusted?
I was going to say given up,
Oh,
but I see all that I need to with my eyes closed. The rest is just aesthetics.
Hmm.
Like finding the night sky in a block. Just when you allow your eyes to blur, you can pretend.
I don't know if I've ever thought of it like that.
And when I look outside, I see the forest, and I've no need to go anywhere else.
This is fair.
It's always easier to see things differently when you let go of the way that you're supposed to see them. People, places, laws, rules. As soon as you realize that everyone is telling you something that they were told by someone else, it becomes easier to think for yourself.
So I've realized.
I do believe I have something for you. See. Yes. I wasn't expecting you so soon, but I don't believe that it will be too far off on the timing.
Huh. I think you just solidified the decision I'm making.
I'm glad you understand it more than I do.
Hopefully you'll understand it soon.
Not too soon.
Not too soon. Plans still
You
have to be
mustn't
made.
rush things.
I am a patient man. It's one of my strong suits. I don't move unless I know that I'm ready to.
And how ready do you feel?
As of right now, not ready at all. But
You
soon.
must find balance between waiting until you're ready and being prepared to take the jump regardless. Not an easy thing, mind you. And honestly, I'm a hypocrite for even saying it, but
Well.
there are some things that are, you know.
I do know, I think. With this particular situation, I have time on my side, but I know I won't for everyone, so it's a good learning opportunity.
Time is fickle, I think is the kindest word I could use. Honestly, not the best at managing it. Always sort of getting mixed up on past and present and future and weeks and days and months and years and centuries. But, it does march forward. There is that. And I'm glad it's on your side in this.
Even when all of us are gone, it is the one thing that will remain.
True.
Thank you.
You're much wiser than, forgive me for saying it, but than a lot of avians that I've known. Far wiser than Aya when I first met them. But they were a child soldier. Well, child to me. Young.
So am I.
Tenacious.
I'm, 22? Some of my peers are over 300 years old.
Time is a funny thing. Especially, with long lifespans and the fact that, not everything that dies here chooses to remain as such.
Yeah. As far as wisdom in comparison with some of my peers, I've simply learned to not take everything at face value. To look further.
The value. Yeah. It's a skill that can't often be taught. It's something that comes from within you.
Call it an instinct.
A good word for it. Forgive me. I know I have a book somewhere. It talks about the sun and the moon. I can't recall which version of the story. There's got to be half a dozen now, but I don't remember which one. That's one of your differences, is it not?
With the merfolk?
Yes.
Yeah, they see the sun and the moon as lovers, and we see them as siblings. It's
Quite
a
a difference, is it not?
bit odd, yeah. But I've never really held too much merit in religion. That's not correct. I respect religion a great deal. I just haven't ever really seen a point to participate in it much myself. So it's fascinating to me how different things can be between cultures. It's interesting, and I like looking at it.
Gods may not walk amongst us as they once did, but their influence is in all people. Perhaps if we figure out where to look, perhaps they'll return to us. Maybe
Maybe.
they know something that we don't.
I won't say it's impossible, but I've just never really had a reason. I guess until now to look past it as anything more than myth. But I suppose if you're a god, being called a myth could be considered offensive.
Or comical.
Or comical, yeah. I guess I'll have to
The
watch my mouth.
folly of the folly of mortals. I don't know. I think the gods must have quite a sense of humor. If they didn't, then honestly nothing would make sense.
Hmm. Yeah.
Life is it's too random if you believe that there is only benevolence or all-knowing beings who are all-powerful. But if you think that they are powerful individuals with love and compassion, bias, fear, humor, then, well, then they become more easy to understand. Not the best thing to say to anyone who's terribly religious, of course, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say that to the Murs. Especially not Mara.
oh, they're all right. Mara, I, they're not a fan of me, um, for understandable reasons, I was unable to help as much as I wish that I could have when it comes to the mer. And I don't believe it's something that she will ever quite forgive me for, secondhand or not.
Got a strong sense of justice, that one.
She
Reminds me a little bit of Reina and the way that they think, actually.
I'm not sure I would call it justice, but he cares for people.
Hmm.
She has a very strong will, that I will say.
There you go. Yeah. It's a good word for it.
Justice is a tad bit different, a little more selfless.
Fair.
Wonderful.
Still reminds me of Reina, though.
You care for them a lot.
I worry.
Why do you worry?
Reina has an odd affinity for getting herself into situations that she shouldn't ever be in the first place. Her most recent example
Who's to
was
say?
training with Asher for 6 months.
Those
She's...
situations you believe she should not be in.
I love her to death, but I can't help but wonder if some of the pain that she suffers from is from her own hand.
Perhaps it is. But will she ever learn otherwise?
That I don't have an answer to.
I fear getting into situations that are complicated. It won't be ending very soon.
No. No, I don't think so either.
But you do have to trust. We will do her best.
I know that.
Even if she goes somewhere you cannot follow.
I know. She's her own person. And as much as I want to protect her, I can't, like, put her in a cage. She spent her whole childhood in an attic.
The
I don't.
thing that your people do, unfortunately, is.
I know. I don't even want to keep a well wanted criminal in a cage.
Is that where he?
Yes, that's where they are.
I. I'd been wondering.
They, they attacked the summit with a siren song.
Well, I knew that bit. They were always going to.
So I took them into
And I'm.
custody, and they've been in the avian capital ever since.
They bit you again, didn't they?
They did. Which,
I told them to stop doing that.
thankfully, a regeneration potion helped, but.
I had to heal them last time. You did quite some damage. I know it's not on purpose, but still impressive.
Thanks, I guess?
You could thank. It's interesting, really. I don't come across much that I'm not at least somewhat aware of. It's fascinating. That that feels insensitive.
No. No. It's not, I promise.
Um,
You don't you don't look at me like a test subject. You look at me like someone with genuine curiosity.
I'm I'm I would never think to test you.
No.
I'm curious. I'd love to watch and see where you go and what you do, just in life. But if someone were to lock you up and run tests, then who's to say what's the tests and what's truly you?
And there we get into the semantics of scientific bias. But you may not have had the exact answer that I think I was looking for, but looking at it more as an instinct thing, I don't think I would have thought of it like that if I hadn't come here. So thank you. I think I'll try some things, and if something happens, I'll come show you.
I'd love to see. It's not often we get sunlight underground. The one thing I can't recreate.
It does seem a bit backwards, doesn't it?
It does. But not unwelcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Haha, I beat you to it. That's twice in one day?
It is. You have taken me by surprise. Once again. Not an easy feat.
Well, I love to please. I think I'm gonna get going. I have some thoughts that I want to try now, but
I have. If you could give this to Reina, I would be very grateful.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can. Yeah. I'll leave it in her room tonight when I get home.
Thank you. Here. It's the easiest way to the surface.
Oh, I gave her my levitation belt. Hang on, I have to. Unfortunately,
Would you like another?
I have to unfortunately do some shit. Sure, if you're willing to give one away.
I have a few.
She she lost use of her wings for a little bit after training with Asher, so I had to give her her belt so she could get back home. Thank you.
I find myself making quite a few.
Mm.
So it's really no trouble.
Oh.
You can
Well.
leave this way, but um if you try to come back in, it will be closed and you will suffocate.
Good to know. I think this might work just as well though. And it won't cost me any experience to do so.
Fair enough.
But it's good to know this is here. Thank you.
Of course.
I'll
There's if you'd ever like to return, outside of the cave, there's a way stone.
I did pick it up.
A bit easier than uh,
Mm.
I believe the nearest from there is the
The
vampire
one
capital, which
actually, it's the one outside of the prince's house.
ah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Kaza showed me it once. I've used it a few times since then.
Hence why I keep the gates closed.
I like.
Visitors drop by often, but showing up in my house is,
It's a little
well,
invasive.
even the vampires have to knock.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going. I'll give Raina that book.
Thank you. Be safe.
You too. If I could find the that would help. There we go. There we go. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Shattered cups, huh? Hmm. What in the world? Oh, from that. Okay. You know, I walk past these things every day, and every day it seems I lose my memory a bit more. Alright. Alright, Jerry's. Alright. Oh, Jesus. I'll take those for Io. Come on, Raina, you have to have, like, it. There we go. Good lord. This girl. Is there enough for a sign, is the question. Oh my god. There's definitely enough for a sign here. God. Right. Let's fix that. Raina, whatever you do, don't get yourself killed.